was just introducing the subject. What is the need for meditation? And I will just tell them that when you consider this subject, there are two aspects. One is that by meditation you calm the mind. At a time when you have a disturbed mind, when you are agitated, you can calm the mind. That especially on the subject of anapanasati or metta bhavana, they tend to calm the mind. The other is to be mindful of your activities. Mindful of your activities, that's a more difficult task. Because you have to be mindful not only at the time you are meditating, you have to be mindful at concentrating, but even all your other activities, you must be mindful. Now you must be mindful here that we are seated to participate in the Dharma discussion. And that problem. And also, this is a very popular meditation because it is fairly easy to do this meditation. It is fairly easy. The need for meditation is to also realize the Buddhist mode of thinking by seeing things as they truly are. Yata Bhutta Jnana Tassa. See things as they truly are. And that is by being mindful, you see things and you see the impermanence. Things change from time to time. The dukkha aspect of it, even pressure is considered to be dukkha because it is temporary. It is here now, gone to one day. So then there is regret and there is sorrow. So let us hear what our parents have to say on the subject. So I have to inviting Venerable Miriswatte Wimalagnana Thero, the senior lecturer on Buddhist studies at the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies. He is a master of philosophy in Buddhism and is pursuing his PhD. He is submitted his thesis and awaiting the outcome. He is still working on it. That's all. So on behalf of the Colombo NMB, I extend a warm welcome both to Pt1 as well as to Dr. Nasir Silva and to Venerable Thero to make his contribution 20 minutes. And it will be as usual followed by a discussion of 20 minutes and then Dr. Nasir Silva will speak for 20 minutes followed by a discussion of 20 minutes.
Three terms called five bhavana, chitta bhavana and panya bhavana. Five bhavana means the culturalization or the development of buddhi. Sometimes it is in many contexts it is called sila. Chitta bhavana is the mind training, and actually this is what we are concerned with today, this chitta bhavana thing. And the other one is panya bhavana, the development of wisdom. So I think even though I say that we are concerned with chitta bhavana here, it is not totally away from or totally something different from kaya bhavana and panya bhavana, because Buddhist texts repeatedly say the thing that chitta bhavana is also has something to do with kaya bhavana and panya bhavana, because our practice is starting from samadhi, right view. Right view is directly related with wisdom. But anyway, now this yogic type of meditation, the meditation that we call bhavana, the popular type of meditation is actually chitta bhavana. And it is totally related to the development of sati and samadhi. So now other types of practices are related to bodily training and global training. But here in this case, what we develop is sati and samadhi. In the Eightfold Noble Path, you have seen the seventh one is the sati, and the eighth one is the samadhi. Now, sati is actually, in technical sense, sati is an attempt of a practitioner to keep your awareness or concentration on a particular object. So, you have awareness, consciousness. What we in Buddhism we have this term called vijnana, that is the English term given, the popular term is consciousness. consciousness, because of the consciousness, now we have the ability to concentrate on a particular object. Actually, we keep our consciousness on a particular object. So that is sati. And samadhi is the result of sati. So the more you keep your consciousness on a particular object, samadhi is developing. So samadhi is, it has degrees, which I am not going to describe now. Now this object is also very many. So it can be breath, it can be even dead body, as we have seen in the text, or even a clay slab, what we call kasinas. We have Neela kasina, the blue kasinas. All these kasinas are the things, mainly the things, the clay slabs, which are used in the meditation and which are sometimes used in the modern context, also in the monasteries and hermitages. Now, when you come to the purposes of meditation, actually we are talking about purposes now. Dr. Raja Silva, Mr. Raja Silva did a classification called samatha and in terms of samatha and vipassana, concentration and wisdom. But still, you can do other classifications, because now what I am going to do today is a different kind of classification, because Buddhism is pariyaya. Pariyaya means it can have many ways in explanation. That is what we mean by pariyaya. So I can, if it is not against Buddhism, so you can do any classification. So today I thought to do this classification in terms of its secular purpose and spiritual purpose. Now when we come to secular purpose, of course now today we are much concerned with these secular purposes. First one is actually related to what we call this consciousness, and everyone knows that if we have this ability to keep our consciousness on some particular object, maybe it could be this photograph or our own hand, even though these objects are not exactly given in the text, we can use these things, even maybe this glass. So we can keep, if you can keep our consciousness or awareness upon this particular object, it calms your mind. This is a reality. I think this is very difficult. That is the thing. Even though it's something very simple in explanation, in practical sense, it is very difficult for someone who doesn't have the ability. Now, consciousness is called ahara because it is constant. You can't stop it. Ahara, the word is used in the sense that it is constant and it is always, you can't avoid consciousness. What is happening is, in the normal context, what is happening is our vijnana is shifting from one object to another. It is very normal. But there are also contexts that the vijnana is going astray. It is totally beyond our control. That is very difficult situation. It's very, giving pain to us, a lot of pain. But when you have the total control of vijnana, it gives you a lot of awareness and develops your awareness, and it is very soothing. Bodily and mentally, it is very good for us. So that is what we call, basically, what we call this the starting point of meditation in a secular sense. So a lot of benefits are there. It reduces your stress. You can manage your emotions. That is, there is another discipline in Buddhism in modern times called management emotion, emotional management. So that is today many people, many academics, educated people, and those people who study about meditation talk about emotional management. It's very important. So that is one thing. And then you can clearly see what is happening within you, your thoughts. What are you? What kind of thought you have in your mind, whether you have angry. These are very difficult things, very subtle things in the mind, which are very difficult to see. But when you develop your consciousness, it gives you the ability to do that. The best thing is it broadens your mind capacity. I think this is the reason why Buddha said, when you were 80 years old, still I am capable of answering to the questions coming from 4 people and without any difficulty I am capable of answering. I mean, the reason behind is that he was a practitioner, constant practitioner of sati and samadhi, and he had this enormous ability to do this. But when we become older and older, actually this is very difficult for us. But still, it is possible for us if we do this. So with all these things, actually the other thing it does is that it develops samadhi. Samadhi is actually a very developed stage of concentration, which has different degrees like jhanas. Actually, before the jhanas, we have some, even though we are not going to the very transcendental level of jhanas, we have this other type of lower level of jhanas. Actually, that is the important thing. Now, even though we don't talk about jhanas, still we have the capacity to develop this meditation, the concentration to the extent that we can manage our emotion, to the extent that we can see our inner world, mental world, to see, to control our emotion, to reduce our stress, to bring out some bodily and mental, goodness, happiness, joy and happiness. So this is possible. Buddhist texts say that each and every animal, each and every individual has this capacity. So even though because of the fact that you have not brought some kusala or merit from the past life, some people cannot go to the jhana levels and higher spiritual levels. Abhidharma traditions say that, but still you can develop it to the extent that you can have this mental balance and stress reduction, etc. I say. Now today the modern therapeutic systems and sciences like cognitive science actually are doing a lot of research on this aspect. They are not thinking about the spiritual aspect, they do a lot of research on this secular purpose, because now there is a lot of stress, so the people need mental relaxation, so they do a lot of research. So all these therapeutic systems and sciences like cognitive science do standardizations, that is academic, the word that we use in modern academic arena. Standardization means actually, you understand what standardization means. What they do is that what is the nature of what is the meditation and how much you develop it and what is the benefit or what is the outcome of that meditation. So that is what we mean. So this is the standard. A lot of research actually. If you read, if you go to West and if you go to Western libraries, hundreds of research you will see on this particular area. Okay, now this is actually the simple aspect of it, the secular purpose. The other purpose is actually the spiritual purpose. For this spiritual purpose, you need a kammatthana. This I don't know whether you have come across this word kammatthana. Kammatthana simply means working ground. Working ground. Now here, if you are a farmer, your working ground is field. For a meditator, for a practitioner, working ground is his method for the promotion of mind and body. So the thing is that in this case, actually, unlike in the secular context, in this case, you need an experienced teacher who is called kammatthana, the teacher who prescribes you a particular method, particular working ground. But here actually you need to look at innocence, and your teacher must be capable enough to understand you. What type of person you are. You are an intellectual person, or you are a faithful person, you are a devoted person. So this is actually what Visuddhimagga teaches us. There are 7 types of character types. Raga charita, desirous character, dosa charita, hatred character, etc. So these actually all the characters somehow can be included within this 7 category. And then the teacher knows the kind of practice. So when you come to spiritual level, actually the teacher should be very aware that this is the particular method. Probably you are starting from samatha and then develop vipassana. This is what we say, samatha pubbangamo vipassana in the text. Now look at this one. For the now everyone has come across anapanasati meditation. This is totally a meditation based upon samatha type. It's not a vipassana type at the beginning. It is totally a meditation based on calmness, samatha, concentration. This can be developed into a vipassana method in a way, but that is, it's a big lesson. It's something that should be explained in detail. So sometimes the meditation, the teacher may see that he has to start from vipassana level. Now if you look at meditation like adasa asubha, that 7 type of the meditation on foulness of the body, actually is a meditation which has the elements of vipassana rather than elements of samatha. You have to understand this, because each and every meditation is not, every meditation doesn't have samatha and vipassana. Sometimes we have misunderstood this. Some meditations are actually have elements of samatha. They can be developed in vipassana later, but at the beginning they are samatha. Now samatha bhavana, now anapanasati bhavana, the meditation on breath is such a meditation. So the practitioner know that this is the meditation for him. The text say, if the person is an intellectual person, vitakka charita and buddhi charita, that is intellectual and rational, that for that person the meditation, the proper meditation, the better meditation is samatha. But for a desirous character, samatha is not going to be the better meditation. For the desirous person, that is the sraga charita, the better meditation is something like asubha bhavana, because it reduces his desire. So that is actually a sort of very systematic way which we had done. Sometimes actually now, unfortunately, sometimes we are lacking this in many monasteries, but still the tradition is preserved in lot of hermitages and several many centers, of course, even though sometimes you have not come across these places, still the tradition is there. There are very renowned monks who preserve this noble method in Sri Lanka. And unfortunately, this is the problem. Now we are lacking capable, now in Burma actually. Burma is a wonderful resource in modern context. Now if you, in comparison to Sri Lanka, Burma is source of inspiration for meditation, because meditation is much more rich, is richer in Burma than how it is in Sri Lanka. This is my personal understanding, but it doesn't say that meditation, the tradition is not preserved in Sri Lanka. So we are actually in Sri Lanka, the education is rich, monastic education is very high. So we are the people, we in Sri Lanka not only keep the tradition but also do academic research on this. So this is something very significant in Sri Lankan context. So that is spiritual. When you come to that kind of understanding, there is a teacher, and teacher prescribes you the proper method, and you are starting from a particular method you develop. And what is happening is, then we come to Yatharutha Jnana Darsana. So this is totally an attempt to see what they really are. For this one you need a lot of concentration. The text there, you need at least, you have to come to the first jhana level. At least you have to come to the first jhana level. But how does this happen? How does this happen? How you develop your concentration actually, and then how does it give you the energy and capacity to see the things as they really are? Actually, this is in the text, and according to my understanding and also according to my own experience, this is a development of light. This is a development of life. That is why in the Buddhist context, in the Buddhist suttas, we see Aloko Uddapati. Aloko Uddapati has a very special meaning, because it can develop a mental clarity, which is a light, of course, which can extend to your inner world, also to the world outside, and understand what is happening. So then what actually happens is that you understand the law of physical world and the law of mental world. So now Buddha understood the retrocognition. Buddha had retrocognition. He saw what is the samsaric existence, and Buddha had this kind of other knowledges like avidya, what we call higher knowledges, and then finally asavakkaya, and then at the asavakkaya level he came to the conclusion. Finally he came to the conclusion what is actually all this suffering and all this samsaric existence is taking place, and he had an answer in that level. So that is what we call simply the vipassana, the special kind of seeing. That is what we see, understand as vipassana. And that is but in the secular purpose, we do not think about these, Yathabhuta Jnana Darsana. In the Yathabhuta Jnana Darsana, the simple understanding of this is you see the anicca, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, and anatta, soullessness. That is the main purpose. But in the secular context, in the secular purpose of meditation, you don't need that. But when you come to the vipassana level, you have the need to see anicca, impermanence, suffering, and anatta. But it is possible only if you have clear vision. In the suttas, it is say you see the body and how this vijnana with all these classes and all that is embedded in the body. In the Samanyapala Sutta, it is clearly given. Finally, you come to an understanding what is the body, what is the nature of the body, and how it is. It has this anicca, dukkha, and all that, and then how this vijnana is embedded within the body and make it continuous. So, if you have that understanding, that is actually Yathabhuta Jnana Darsana, nothing else, because Buddha has said that all this understanding exists only within this pattern law body. So, that is what is basically vipassana. I think within this 20 minutes I have given some basic clarification about samatha and vipassana. I think if we have it, do not need further clarification, we can discuss.
Venerable Sir, friends, we have listened to a very interesting, deep presentation on the subject of what is the need for meditation on the Venerable Monk. Really, it was our General Secretary, Mahendra Dasek, who introduced me to this monk because he is a student following an MA course, and one of the lecturers is the Venerable Monk. And because we find it very difficult as I mentioned to you before, to obtain the services of monks who are competent in the English language. And he assured me that your English was very good, as it was revealed in the course of your talk. So in the talk, he was mentioning about the fact that awareness of an object, you see, awareness of an object, that means concentration of the mind. And the anandation, like the body, to see what the position is with regard to anicca, dukkha, and anatta. And he was mentioning about the dead body. The dead body, of course, the best dead body we can get is when you see a person in a coffin. Now, the many people are inclined to close the coffin. But I don't think that's a good thing. Because if the people know, come and have a look at the body and say, no, this was a living being, very active some time or other. And now, ended up like this. And this is not how you are also going to end up. You are also going to end up. So let us, now is the time to make your comment.
Now, to add something to your statement, I would like to say that in Thailand I saw, now there is a different kind of trend. Now, as today we don't have these cemeteries where the dead bodies are discarded and spoiled finally. Now the monks are invited to the labs, and before them the dead body is cut into pieces, and then yes, medical students, and then they give chance monks to see the absolute the nature of the inside. I think this is a kind of new way. So during the time of the Buddha and some centuries ago, we did not have that kind of, we did have kind of medicine, but still this kind of technology was not there. But using technology, this is a new kind of way of looking into the body and understanding the nature of these 32 bodily organs that we.
That's a very good comment that you made, because that is something that we could introduce here also. You see, because and not only to monks, even to laymen who are that way inclined, it will be a great benefit. So now, for the Venerable Monk, it opens for discussion, questions and comments. Make them brief so that more persons can participate. Yes.
Now, it is said, without practicing meditation, one cannot attain Nibbana. I would like to ask, can one attain Nibbana through meditation only without the Dhamma knowledge?
No, it is knowledge of Dhamma is necessary, essential. I think the only thing is that the how this Dhamma knowledge come to you. Probably now there are Kippa Binya people, and Kippa Binya means you become enlightened very suddenly. It means that the knowledge comes suddenly. But there are people, Dandha Binya, who needs a long period of practice and to acquire the necessary knowledge. But in both cases, actually, it says that the Dhamma knowledge is essential. But it can come to different people in different time. The speed can change, but still it needs Dhamma knowledge. The knowledge means the knowledge, the proper knowledge, the essential knowledge of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. That is the Dhamma knowledge, what we call. It is necessary. Without that, you can't be enlightened.
And there is a very good question that was raised. If I may add, of course, there is certain kinds of knowledge that you will get only by observe, by being mindful and meditate. You can't get it from books. You have to get it from your own. Now that is why sometimes there are Upasakas, very limited understand. They are not with all the texts, but they are very good. They understand the Dhamma very well by getting the Avidya and making that out.
No, that is Dhamma knowledge is here. What I mean is Dhamma is Dhamma is a very broad term. Dhamma means the psychological and physical phenomena. So the knowledge of your mental and physical conditions. So I mean finally asavakkaya, at least to have the asavakkaya knowledge, that is the least knowledge that you have need to be enlightened, has this knowledge of Dhamma. The laws, the understanding of physical laws and psychical laws, that the proper understanding of your mental world and the physical world, the body and mind. So that is Dhamma, the knowledge of Dhamma.
Sir, there are two
Excuse me. Ask for the chair. Yes,
Swaminatha, the problem that I understand is wrong. I am a German villager. I have no knowledge of the Buddha, but on being given instructions, I practice Anapanasati, and I have prevented by practicing the emerging of the scientific energy of karma, which starts commensurate the process of rebirth. So then, by that, without my knowledge of the Dhamma, I achieve the state of nirvana by practicing Anapanasati continuously, by controlling my mind.
Can I ask do you say that you have come to the liberation, or you have the knowledge of liberation, or where are you?
No.
Developing mindfulness, where have you come? Have you come to the final liberation?
No, I am not talking about myself.
Okay.
I am talking about the position that you stated from the answer, that those who have known that knowledge of the Buddha Dhamma is essential for the
This is a word given. This is a convention. Buddha Dhamma is a convention. Now, if you have the knowledge, it doesn't matter whether it comes from Buddha or elsewhere. Now, as the Dhamma, the knowledge of Dhamma coming from Gautama Buddha, we call it Buddha Dhamma. But still, if you properly understand the nature of the things as they really are, it doesn't matter how it is called, whether it is Buddha Dhamma or any other thing. But still, you have the proper knowledge. the knowledge which was given by the Buddha and which was intended by the Buddha for the people who are seeking for the liberation. But it doesn't matter. So if you can develop samatha bhavana in terms of this meditation on breath, and gradually if you develop knowledge, actually when you have the proper knowledge, it is the Buddha Dhamma, whether or not it is labeled as Buddha Dhamma. But at liberation, it is the proper knowledge.
It is a limited knowledge. You have a basic knowledge. But that does not mean everything.
Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
that will be sufficient for you to start activities on meditation.
On meditation.
You don't have to postpone saying I have to somewhere.
Yes,
Basic
yes,
thing.
yes, yes. So all the technical knowledge is not necessary. But it's still
Yes, you have to make it.
Rahatud means with knowledge of Dhamma, with plenty of knowledge of Dhamma, and other one is
yes, I think that is correct. Now, if you now liberation has two components, that is vidya and charana. The completion and culmination of vidya and charana is also the liberation. Vidya is knowledge, charana is conduct. So vidya means basically the knowledge of anicca dukkha anatta. Even though you don't have this other technical knowledge of Buddhism, you have to have this knowledge of vidya, that is the anicca dukkha anatta. It is essential. In case of you, actually yes. Now these are extra capabilities of the Buddha. I do not think even the Buddha had all these 6 knowledges when he came to the enlightenment. In the Arya Pariyasana Sutta, it clearly pointed out by the Buddha, he had only 3 knowledges. But there are 6 avidyas given in the text. But how did they come to Buddha? Probably it is possible. I mean, it is possible that after Buddha became enlightened, he himself practiced, do extra practice and achieved it. It is possible. So these are extra ability which can be developed by a practitioner. So Sivpilisimbhya, without Sivpilisimbhya, these 4 great capacities, qualities, so capabilities, you can become an arahant. So now text is very clear that with even, having asavakya jnana, that is the knowledge of destruction of passion itself, having only that one, you can be enlightened without all other abhinyas like retrocognition, telepathy, etc. So you don't need it. But if you understand anicca dukkha anatta at this asavakya level, which is the last one, you can be enlightened. So, but again I am saying that when you have asavakya, you have dhamma knowledge. The necessary dhamma knowledge of anicca dukkha anatta. This is the knowledge what I am talking about. See, this knowledge, the knowledge of anicca dukkha anatta is essential.
Now to practice the Dhamma, some persons try to make an effort to live by the 5 precepts. Now, they may not have heard even or know about anything about the Noble Eightfold Path, leading to Nibbana. But they also can engage in practice at that level and perhaps later on gradually.
Now, Majjhima Patipata, Eightfold Noble Path is given as Majjhima Patipata, and it is the only path. Ekayana ayam bhikkhave makku. So, like Satipatthana, actually Satipatthana is another form of Eightfold Noble Path. So, that is, it doesn't matter whether you have 5 precepts or not, but necessarily at some level you reduce some cases, defilements, and you transgress the level of 5 precepts. It is gradually happening, but still you can start with 5 precepts. But at a certain point, you necessarily happen to transgress, because when you come to Sakadagami and Anagami level, you can't stay at 5 precept level because some of your defilements are gone. You don't have sexual desire, so you can't remain there.
Venerable Bhikkhu, now in this Asava Bhavana, we are focused on those days in the jungle, the corpse, not in internal parts of the body. Now it's bloated, swollen, full of germs, Now that today we can't see that because the moment the body is taken to the mortuary and we never see those formations, not the interior part. But during that time, Asubha Bhavana is focused on those different positions of the corpse.
There are two meditation. One is Kaya Gata Sati, which by which we concentrated on bodily organs, and there is another one called Asubha Bhavana, foulness. So you are talking about foulness,
Yeah.
which can be done in the cemetery and concentrating upon the kind of changes of the body taking place in the cemetery.
Now the background mentioned also what we can do. You see when operations are going on and all, you can watch them.
Now what I said was actually something related to this Kaya Gata Sati, in which we concentrate on bodily organs. So you can, in the lab, these organs are dissected, and you can easily get the understanding of them, their nature, color, and all that. Both they have come into being. Jnana is knowledge. How they have come into being. It means that how you have composed. So the exact factors which have made you. So it is a past participle. Yatha Bhuta is a past participle. The factors which have made you, brought you into being.
Realizing it yourself.
No, yes, the realizing how the things have come into being. Have come into being. So it means that you understand the exact psychological and physical factors which have brought into being.